just going on YouTube. This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a 2024 album by G-Fan Black and Mathias. Basically, this product is called Blick Tracy, and it came out in the winter of 2024. Now, this particular product is a request by Urban Odyssey U as far as these pitches I have. This is a recent type one, so I'm going to get to it within these pitches, within these excellent aspects. And G-Fan Black is definitely a productive type dude within these pitches. Has the hustle type mode of like Gucci Mane and Lil Wayne, so those type folks with excellent type outing points. There is a sequel to this album within these aspects that came out in 2025, so some more deals, pitches like that, but some good type products here. Seeing some of these type ones, it seems like a newer cat on the scene as far as these fairs going to happen. Just within the fair, but I will go ahead and say this is a classic album here within these pitches. Definitely a refreshing taste of like some new era kind of New York hip hop pitches like that within those ordeals. Has some city flares about it. Restores like good feeling to like 90s Wutang and 90s Nas within like albums like Illmatic and Return to the 36 Chambers and Enter the 36 Chambers. Some of those type ones within the pitch. It was written in some of these type aspects. It has like pawn shop material on here, some city weaving, some of these type aspects, but it does it. The difference between this particular album and the way that Nas and Wutang kind of did in like the early mid-90s pitch like that is this has more of like a 1920s, 1930s type aspect with the tone. Very much Blick Tracy being a pun on like Dick Tracy as far as those fairs going to happen. Excellent with the aspects as far as getting towards that, taking things back to black and white television, so those type aspects within the tone. Just good aspects, going to have TV land on repeat, some of these type ordeals, taking it back to that. Taking it back to golden eras of television and radio as far as those aspects can happen, which definitely excellent type ordeals. Original gangster type periods definitely within those aspects. When you think of like Al Capone, zones type folks in the pitch, definitely within those flares. So good excellent type pitch, but I would say more or less within the commonplace. Definite aspect behind it. There's not a ton of folks that kind of had like, you may find like there are some products that kind of have that within certain type senses, you know, within aspects of New York hip hop kind of pitches like that, but kind of within that particular flavor, this carries the theme pretty excellently within these pitches as far as these fairs going to go. I mean, the aspect behind a lot of this here is it's trendy to 2024, so it nails the aspect of going pretty much like almost 100 years back within some of those type aspects within the tone as far as getting towards some of those type particular vibes of this, being able to fuck with like the city weavings pitches like that, and then just having the ordeals. But very much within smoke type fashion. It's not a square type album, it's a product of the night, very demon time refreshing within these pitches as far as things that you're going to be doing pretty much within the hours that just woke up. Now I realize in like the post-COVID years, the only unfortunate thing about it is just questioning for folks, if you like me in certain senses, wonder a lot why places like Walmart and some of these type places are not open 24 hours. But it's just kind of within the pitch as far as it has the product like some night outings within the point, but it just depends upon that's the only real caveat towards it, and like a weakness is the fact of whether or not the things are going to be open within some of those attention. But other than that, it's the basic productiveness of just getting crunk within those tones as far as having like those particular flares as far as like going out and about within like the rounds as far as just smoke. I mean, obviously gas stations and probably obviously gas stations and places like Food for Less, some of these type places are going to be open within the point of being able to have some of these type fairs, but it's just excellent within the pitch. Not complaining about that whatsoever within those pitches. It's definite good demon time type product to get some tasks done kind of within the late shift as far as erranding and things like that. Just having productive type fair as far as just easy kind of embrace like that particular product. So it nails that particular appeal. Now within the fair, this is a relatively, like it seems like by the aspect of G-Fan Black, I'm going to look up and see how many monthly listeners he gets on particularly Spotify. So yeah, he gets about 6,000 a month, so 5,961 a month is within the fair as far as saying. But particularly out of these 8 songs on here, the most popular song has 2,150 plays within these pitches, so it's the aspect that's Service Weapon. But some good excellent aspects on here, kind of similar to folks like JJ Demon, some of these type folks in the pitch as far as these formats can have just in a low-key type sense. But I definitely think the product of it has a lot of good blistering type appeal. This is real, just be able to say out of the 8 songs on this particular album, I recommend all 8, so it's within those pitches as far as saying. But yeah, definitely brings back Illmatic, Enter the 36 Chambers, some of those type vibes within the pitch as far as talking about on top of that in like a 1920s, 1930s type aspect. So it's excellent within those pitches as far as nailing that particular appeal. This is real good particular just smoke type fest, just getting some things done within the product business fair side of it, things like that. Just the aspect of the reports to work, the drunken kind of city weavings pitches like that. So I look after it here. Yes, I'll go ahead and talk. There's good pitches like that. So the most popular song, like I was saying, according to Spotify, which has 2,150 plays approximately, is Service Weapon. It's like a lit kind of throwback to Service Weapon is like a lit throwback to black and white TV, kind of TV land, after hours surfing to kind of get within the products of it here. Just spark one to this, definitely just good for some outs as far as those fairs going to happen. So definitely like some Ghostface Killa type vibes, pitches like that, and Redman, some of those type folks within the aspects as far as those tones going to happen. Service Weapons, pretty similar to Tommy Gun, some of those type ones within the ordeals, definitely some good sample type ones within the pitch behind it. Good type products like that basic player. So if you like a good album, this has some similarities to in a more 2024 type fashion. I mean, it's pretty trendy like these times. It's a retro type album, but within the pitch, it does also feel like Ghostface Killa is a fish scale album within those products. So when you think of songs like that, like Shaky Dog and some of those type ones, and Back Like That, and some of those type ones within the pitch, there's other type ones. The Champ by Ghostface Killa, some of those type ones within the pitch definitely has those ordeals as far as those pitch going to happen. Yellow Trench Coat is nice as well. It's like a drunken and woozy kind of city wandering to get here within these aspects. Good song to grab like pretzels too, pitches like that. Some type snacks and fairs. Just great song to zag it up, pitches like that. But zag it up, zigzag it up, pitches like that. What I mean, it's kind of another nice one for some late shift TV as far as those fairs go. So excellent within a pitch. It's the after effect of just kind of heading home from a bar, some of those type pitches, or just extra products like that. It's good type fair to kind of have like particular kind of enjoyment factor high within the pitch. Yeah, there's some wandering songs on this particular product which are pretty excellent within the fairs. Not so much as full bound. I mean, the aspect behind like snack run type fair, it has the extra aspects of this kind of there's a few wandering songs on here, like I would definitely say Yellow Trench Coat, Interrogation, some of these type ones within the pitch. It's kind of the product, internal affairs within certain type aspects. It's kind of the tone of like having the product of having like the aspect of the enjoyment factor, but it's kind of within the tone of just appreciating the city, pitches like that. So some good type ordeals where whether it would be just like a simple kind of Taco Bell run and, you know, just grabbing like standard utilities and supplies, pitches like that, some type of deals, but nails within the product of a good type appeal. Internal Affairs is nice on here. I like this particular fair about this song just because I like the fact that they kind of added like a pedestrian type folk on here. It's kind of a skit type song within the pitch. Not really a skit type song, but it's kind of the way like Eminem and Dr. Dre would do like a song like Guilty. Internal Affairs is similar in the appeal to how like Eminem and Dr. Dre would do like a song like Guilty Conscience as far as those pitch guy have some excellent type products like an after hours kind of city surfing to kind of get to some paranoia and demon time kind of work shift, I'd say here. Dope kind of routine to get into as far as these pitch kind of happen. So just the night shift kind of city product is something to kind of listen to in the business side of things when it is probably past the hours like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock p.m. Good pitches like that. So just good aspects to kind of have the straightforward kind of task and it's like the standard task and day fair, but more in like a night fair type product. So it's just day fair at like nighttime as far as those pitch counts. So just the products as far as getting towards that. But yeah, definitely dope routine. Interrogations is nice as well. It's like a tripping and swash kind of enjoyment to kind of get within the products over here. Just some city wander and embellish. I would definitely say a good song for some homies catch up. So this kind of the products, some of these type ones, is kind of more or less this mess hall type music within the aspect. Not so much full bound mess hall to the point of like more house party typeness, but just kind of within the product of this having like a swisher or zag or two, something like that within those products as far as like some good couple bags of Doritos, something like that, to standard DAP for 5 or 8 or 15 minutes, something like that. It's kind of good within those ordeals. Greenbacks is real nice as well. It's like a hypnotic and snaring kind of noir-like torment to get within these aspects here. This reminds like mid-90s Nas. I'd say here within the product is some late pawn shop type noise within those pitches. So just some good, excellent further pawn shop type noise when you think of a song like The World Is Yours, some type pitches within the product of it. Just good type appeals for like some shop stop buys, pitches like that. Just pick up like a water pipe or something within that nature, something like that. Just other good products like a cheap DVD, something like that. Some of those particular type of appeals. Tommy Gun is nice, like a dope throwback to 90s Wutang. Some pitches like that, I'd have to say, just cream and protect your neck. Some of those type ones within the pitch. Definitely some hot box type noise kind of get here just within the product of it. Excellent type ordeals. This vintage kind of, like some vintage kind of NY kind of city weaving. Songs like some vintage kind of NY city weaving as far as those pitch gaps. So it's just within the ordeal as far as saying it's the product like some of those type fairs. It very much feels like Ghostface Killa out of 2006, some of those type vibes, other type products, the 90s Wutang, some of those type aspects, definitely within the tone. A little bit of Nas that was written, some of those type fairs. So definitely brings it back to like throwback kind of 90s kind of ordeals within like more NY type product pitches like that. It's good to get a hot box song on here as far as these pitches can happen. I mean, this album does have the fairs that like some socialized within the pitch. It has like the particular fair kind of beating within a mode as far as like the productive kind of night fair pitches like that, which is definitely excellent within those ordeals. But it's kind of the pitch as far as saying that there is like the products like the socialized within the fair, having like that, the additional folks around. There are some guests on here to say like that. Some of these type of fairs, there's some folks that are low key within these aspects. I don't know is full bound, but like Tali Rodriguez is on here, Hanzo Blades, DJ Decepta, P-Row, yeah, P-Row and INF, some of these type folks. There are some guests on here within these aspects. Very much contributes to like the noir-like feel as far as these pitch can have. But I definitely say Tommy Gun's real nice type of feel to get within these aspects of just standard type fare, just blistering typeness within those aspects. Usually kind of gets the smokish type fare going pretty quickly within those aspects. Just drenched in like that 90s kind of soul type sample that kind of happened back in those days. This pitch like that, this should feel just like some of those type folks easily like. There's definitely some other type folks I'm thinking of besides Wutang just within those pitches. It might be Redman, might be Capadonna, some of those type folks, or like there's particular other folks, Army of the Pharaohs, some of those type folks in the pitch as far as those formats can happen. You know, folks like Vinny Paz, some of those type people within the pitch volume. But I look after here good type ordeals. I'm trying to think if there's other ones I haven't talked about on here. I don't think I've talked about Above the Law yet. Above the Law is like a night shift motivation, kind of get within the products of it, just a productive and efficient kind of enjoying. Songs like productive and efficient, I'd say within the aspects of it here, just enjoying like the cricket hours, I would definitely say just a good dim type one. So if internal affairs is just more amidst like the initial type moments of getting started with your night as far as this pitch can happen. Above the Law is more amidst like the root of it as far as this pitch can happen, more amidst like the cleave of the day as far as this pitch can happen. It's kind of within the ordeal, just kind of standard productive hours of that particular fair as far as this pitch can happen. But yeah, just the aspect, demon time type aspects, getting towards the product, getting things done. Easy kind of night hustle song pitches like that. It's not so much of a hustle. It's just a little bit more steadfast within the tone about it. It's not to the point of like the grit behind it where it's really like it's really heavy set type working pitches like that. But it's just the aspect of this being steadfast within the tone of this, the night type fair, getting things done as far as this pitch comes. So just efficient with like the tone of it, just productive within that product. I don't think I've talked about Search and Seizure either. I think that's another nice one. Search and Seizure is like a nice neighborhood head trip with like the TV on pitches like that. Just some white noise gonna have corn chip, things like corn chips nearby. Some of those type pitches, I'd say just get a couple errands done. Some of those type products. So just kind of within the tone, just neighborhood routine type fare. Leave the house for a little bit with the TV on. Some of those type pitches, just the extra type products. Maybe smoke a zag out in the neighborhood. Some of those type fares within the aspect behind it is standard city weaving. Really nails the appeal. So more or less, that's the particular aspect amongst this album as far as these fairs can happen. It's very much drunken but productive kind of after products like the fair, just like some city weaving pitches like that within those ordeals. It has the aspect of like missions in mind, things like that as far as getting towards the product of being efficient and getting out and setting out as far as those pitches can happen. But it's kind of within the aspect of this. It's very much enlisted. And I like the particular appeal about it. Very much talking about Dick Tracy, some of those type aspects when you think of that particular folk that was from back in those days of 100 years ago. Pitches like that's kind of within the aspect of it. This particularly nails the aspect of like the night shift type appeal in spades as far as these pitches can happen, just within the tone of like something to kind of have for like vintage kind of early 90s type fare within pitch. It is something that takes it real back 100 years within those pitches. So it just nails that particular flair. Noir type aspects is getting towards the city grease of it, pawn shop type material, pitches like that. Some of those type fares just kind of a little bit of hotbox and homies dap type moments within the pitch as far as getting towards it. But yeah, this album has a good sense of night appeal pitches like that. I'd say within those ordeals about it. So it's just kind of product of getting Nas and likes the Millmatic kind of pawn shop type vibes, and then just putting it within the pitch as far as talking about then the particular flair of having that within like the 1920s, 1930s kind of noir type grease within those aspects as far as those pitch happens. So it does that within that particular flair. It has a productive kind of sense of night living pitches like that. So you get some shit done as far as those aspects going to go. Demon time going to work shift as far as those pitch can happen. It's active within it. It's kind of the aspect of this consistent kind of flair within that particular tone. So just a standard plug on what the goings on, just real steadfast within tone. It's a good type pitch of just being used to that particular product and then just nails it. It's like the enjoyment of like some corn chips and Doritos, things like that within the in-between type moments of just like fashions for like some drunken kind of city weavings within the in-between. So nails that particular appeal. Definitely good aspects there. So 10 out of 10 album pitches like that. Social score I'm going to go ahead and give maybe like a 9.75. I look within pitch as far as saying I would say the quality of it's definitely on here within pitches like that. It seems like G-Fan, Black, and Mathias are kind of on the uprise as far as this pitch can happen. They've been prolific pitches like that, some blistering type of appeal. I question how their popularity is full bound kind of getting, despite the fact that at least G-Fan Black is kind of going towards like 6,000 hits a monthly on Spotify pitches like that. But it's within the ordeal. And just to talk about like his delivery, he kind of reminds me of like Stevie Stone within those pitches, kind of the fair as far as talking about G-Fan Black. He's kind of within the same varieties like Stevie Stone, some of those type folks in the pitch. I'm thinking there's other type folks I can't think of as full bound. A little bit of Ace Hood in there, pitches like that. He's pretty good with like these lyrics. It's kind of an NY type version like Stevie Stone, something like that. So it's excellent type ordeals, get some of that type flair. Definitely like some trendy new era type stuff within these pitches. to be honest, a real sparky type album. I mean, the only reason why I wouldn't get a 10 social is definitely pretty fun and enjoyable within these pitches as far as like the project is, what you're going to be doing when listening to it. Is very much getting like a Wutang type album within those aspects, just more amidst like 2024 type fashions, but just within a throwback type fashion to way back in the day as far as this pitch can happen. So it's just within ordeal as far as you get that particular fair. This has the aspect, some active kind of city weaving as far as getting pitches done, just visiting late shift kind of pawn shops pitches like that, to some of that city greasing within those aspects. So just kind of productiveness, being hustle bound pitches like that, getting towards the steadfastness, just the active kind of demon time. That's the product in terms of social score, so 9.75. I'd say 9.75 social, but more or less in terms of quality would probably be more of a 10. But it's just the aspect as far as it just being more low key, as the folks recognizing it within the full bounds kind of the pitch. Doesn't have much of a learning curve, but it's just kind of pitch. If you're really questioning who the hell this cat is, it's kind of within those ordeals about it. But yeah, in terms of the future, like in terms of the future, G-Fan Black has put out a sequel to this album, Blick Tracy, as far as these pitches going to happen, and there are 2025 albums that he's dropped as far as these first albums. It's excellent within those ordeals. It's kind of an out of nowhere type classic pitches like that. Definitely some good type fire out of folks on the uprise as far as those pitches going to happen. Definitely worth looking into. Wouldn't pay attention to the fact if you're questioning. If you look into this review and you're like, well, who the hell is this? I wouldn't pay attention to that conduct, because this does have some excellent type fares that brings back 90s Wutang, and then throwback kind of TV land type fare that really nails the appeal.